Okay, let's talk about the average value of a function, and you're going to be given a function, and just arbitrarily call this the function f of x, and we're on an interval between a and b. And the average value of the function is you're actually taking samples, right? And by the way, infinite number of samples. To just take an idea of a sample. So like f of x1. By the understanding that the samples that we're picking, every xi has to be on the interval between a and b. So f of x1, f of x2, plus yada, 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 all up to f of xn. This is a sample, by the way. N could be very large, could be a small sample, whatever, divide by n. And that would be the average, by the way, right? This is what's known as a sample average. We want to take all the points, though. So I'm going to write an integration down and show you it's related to this over here. And, what's an integration look like? It looks like this over here. It looks like a to b, f of x dx equals, I'm going to write a limit down now. It's going to be the limit, and we've certainly done this before, n goes to infinity, and then you get a sum, and the sum would be from, I'm going to say I equals 1 to n f of xi, and times the delta x, and what's a delta x? It would be, let's see, b minus a over n, all right? And kind of like an important concept over here, and the reason for that is, I could rewrite this. I mean, one thing I could do is I could factor out the b minus a, so that would be what? B minus a, I factor that out, and then it's a sum, or I should say a limit of a sum, and this would be the sum, I equals 1 to n f of xi over n. And what's this thing over here? This is taking every single point, infinite number, right? It can give the average, right? However, I got this thing in front. I got to get rid of it. And what do? Divide both sides by that. So I'm going to write that down. So if you want to get the average, what are you going to write down? You're going to divide both sides by this business over here. And what do you get? F average, the average value function, is going to be this. Pretty simple. What are we doing? We're taking this and dividing both sides by that. And again, that's what we're looking for. All right? So let's take an example. An example they're giving me over here is this example over here. So let's write that down. It's easy to write down, by the way. What do I write down? F average, F AVG, is going to be equal to, well, it's the length of the interval, so it's 1 over. That would be 2 minus 0. The integration starts at 0, stops at 2, and what do you get? X squared, the root of 10 minus x cubed dx. Well, I got some work on my hand over here. And the work I have to do is, I actually integrate it, and it doesn't look like something I recognize, but I'm going to say u substitution to the rescue. And I'm going to say u is equal to 10 minus x cubed. Du would equal, let's see, minus 3x squared dx. Let me see if I could write that down now. F average, AVG. Oops, sorry about that. I'm so used to writing F of. So F average, AVG. Well, let's write this down. 1/2. Let's see, I'm going to go to the land of u's now. So what do you get? Well, if x is 0, the u would be 10. And if x is 2, you would get 10 minus 8, which is 2. All right, well, what do you get now? Well, I'm seeing the x squared dx, and that's equal to minus 1/3 of a du. Let me write that down. Minus 1/3 of a du. We'll clean that up later. And what do you get over here? The root of, well, the root of what? It's the root of 10 minus x cubed, which is just u. Let me rewrite this, simplify a tiny little bit. You're going to get minus 1/6. I'm going to write it as 1/6 and switch the limits of integration from 2 to 10. I'm going to write down u to the 1/2 power, du. And what I'm going to do now is the integration. What do you get? 1/6. We'll check the key later. U, increase the 1/2 by 1. That would be 3/2. Now divide by 3/2 or multiply by 2/3. And that would be from 2 to 10. Wow, what do you get over there? Let's take a look at that. That would be 1/9. And that would be u root u. I'll put this over here. U root u. I'm just simplifying. And we go from 2 to 10. Let's evaluate that. you get a 9, you're going to get 10 root 10 minus 2 root 2. That's the average value. Let's look at the k. Let's see if we set the integral up right. And looking at it, I wrote down what we just derived before, putting this business over here. And let's see, did we get it? Did we get the 10 minus? Yeah, looks like we did good, right? I also noticed to put an approximation over here, and they provide a picture of it. Now someone says, what picture are they giving you? Well, they're giving you what f is. This is f right over here. And on the interval from 0 to 2, then I see this like red dashed line over here. And this red dashed line over here is just simply the average value of the problem, which is 3 point something, all right? Now, what does that mean? If you took every sample point along this infinite number, right, added them all together and divided by n, which we just did with the integration, by the way, we would get the average. And what's the average? 10 root 10 minus 2 root 2 divided by 9, or approximately about 3.2. Thank you.